blood, sweat, tears, exhaustion, physically and mentally, having grit, determination. What do all those things have in common? They are what you need not only to train in triathlons, like Lindsay, our special guest today, has done, but also what you need to scale and grow a real estate team. Guys, welcome to the Thriving Agent Show and podcast. Today we have super special guest, Lindsay Stevens of New Paltz, New York with us, who's not only trained and competed in triathlons, not only built an amazing real estate business that dominates New Paltz, New York and the Hudson Valley, 26 agents. She also, her and her husband have an amazing business, real estate investment, have an awesome young family, all kinds of things. Accolades go on and on and on. And we're super excited to have you here with us today, Lindsay. Thank you for joining us.
I am so happy to be on this show. I'm so happy I got an opportunity to meet you in Dallas. I feel like we have a lot of parallels in our two lives, so I'm excited. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super pumped.
Absolutely. Yeah, Lindsay and I met a few months back. We were at a real estate seminar in Dallas, and we were both at the bar. Bruce was with her, and I looked over and I said, those guys look like two people who were just digesting 10 hours worth of content, trying to relax with the martini as I was. And we just started chatting, realized we're both husband and wife teams, realized we had a lot of similarities in the way that our lives are and we run our businesses, and kept in touch ever since. So we're super excited to get to know you better here and pour a little bit of value into our real estate community and teach them some things. The 5 biggest takeaways you're going to give us at Training in Triathlons taught you that applied to your real estate business and your growth there. So first, Lindsay, if you wouldn't mind, take a few minutes, as long as you want, go back as far as you want, and just tell us a little bit about you and Bruce and how you guys got to where you are and who you guys really are.
Totally. So we're, we were an independent brokerage, started out just the two of us in a small town called New Paltz, New York. It's about 90 miles north of New York City. I have a background in business, and actually in sports management is my background, working on golf tournaments in New York City prior to being in real estate. Bruce has been a real estate broker since 2001. And talking about like burning the boat, which is one of my 5 things. I got pregnant with my daughter. I was commuting back and forth to New York City every day. I worked at Morgan Stanley doing their event planning. So like big events, corporate events, conferences. And I quit my job and I started in real estate with Bruce. That was in 2010. And I made the commitment to building our organization here. And at the time, didn't really clearly define what that was, but over the course of our discovering like what our goal was for the team, kind of made that happen. And I've worked hard at that every single day since. And so my background is in sports, in business. I've been a lifelong athlete, which has taught me pretty much all the lessons that I live and breathe today. I've been a runner since I was 11 years old. I competed at a D1 college. I went to UMass Amherst and continue as, almost 40 years old, continue to challenge myself and try and be better and do things that scare me. And that's, I apply that same principle in my business as I do in my personal life. So it's just a quest to just be a better human being. That's really awesome. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Very cool. And tell us, when did you start actually competing and training in triathlons? When did that come right out of college since you were an athlete, or is that more recent?
More recent. Like, I think triathlons are hard. They take a lot of commitment. It's actually funny because they say triathletes are really high level in business typically because of the mindset and the commitment to the training and everything else. So they say the profile of a triathlete is usually pretty high level, producing, awesome. In their business life. So yeah, always a runner. I've run marathons. I've run long distance. I'm an endurance athlete. So about 2018 is when I started doing triathlons.
That's awesome. And then they say how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So It's not surprising that people that work so hard, train so hard, so committed, so disciplined in one area of their life, in fitness and endurance and in athletics, also translates to the professional world and the business world. So it makes a ton of sense. And that's an awesome story. Appreciate you giving us that context. I'd add 2 more things that I missed in the intro and that you didn't touch on. One is you absolutely kill it on social media. You and Bruce are like super fun to follow. Your business, your family, everything is just like a great story. And from the little we got to hang out in Dallas and now just keeping connected with you guys over the last few months, you're just super fun people. Like, you're just always having fun no matter what you're doing, which I think is really important. I tell my team all the time, if we're not having fun, let's go into another business, because there's other ways to make money. If we're not having fun and enjoying it, it doesn't really matter. And as I mentioned before, our nanny got stuck today, so somebody heard
Listen, yes, one thing we have in common, right? Like we always say, like Bruce and I have, there's no shame in our game. We are real, we're raw, we have kids, we get it, we live and breathe our business. So you show up, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. That's it. We had this on the schedule today. We got one down for a nap. We got one in front of the TV. We got a little cameo. But we made a commitment to make this right, and we show up every day. So awesome. Let's get into 5 actual points. 5 lessons you've learned from triathlon or from being an athlete for all the years that show up every day or have helped you embody and really you and Bruce build this business that you guys have built. We'll riff on that for a little while, and then we'll wrap it up from there.
Yep. And I said, like, as I was writing these out, I'm like, they're so simple, right? Like it's so simple. And the Dallas event we were at, right? Chef Black said the simple solves the complex, right? Sure. It's really simple things that I'm going to say that are going to be like, oh, wow, like she's enlightening the world here. But it starts with the why, right? Like, why are we doing what we are? Why do we do what we do? And in sports, it's why do I commit to doing things that are super scary and hard? And I'm doing a triathlon on Sunday. So this is very fitting. I am scared to death. If you are in my ecosystem right now, you will know I am shitting my pants. It's a very hard race. They call it the survivor line. If you make it to the finish line, you are a survivor. It's probably going to take me 6.5 hours. It's a long, it's intense, but why do I do it? Right? Like, why do I commit to that? And I think like it goes back to my mantra is just be a little bit better every day, challenge myself, put myself in situations that scare me. And that's my why. The why in business is to help people become leaders. Like we just had a team meeting and I looked everybody in the eyes and it's like, I want the best for every single person on our team. Like I want to breathe. I want them to achieve at such a high level, whatever their goals are different from mine, but how can we help them do that? And everything I do through personal development and helping them develop themselves as agents is really the why, like making people's dreams come true and helping them achieve things they want to achieve, buying their first house, buying a new car. James downstairs just got the new Ford Bronco. We all went out and threw change in it. Like the little things, like why are we here? Like we're here to have fun. We're here to change people's lives. We're here to contribute back to the communities we live in. Yep. And the same for me is like just to be better, be a healthier version of myself, to teach my daughters that they can do whatever the hell they want to do. And,
awesome.
They know, like they heard me, like talking to Bruce, am I going to finish? And they're like, Mommy, you're going to win it. It's like,
That's awesome. Oh, that is so cute. And that's the why, like you said, right? Not like earth shattering, not changing the game, but like how deep can you take your why, right? Your why, you probably asked yourself 3-4 times, well, why is that important? Well, why is that important to get to that final root of like, why are we in business? To make money. Why are we in business? To help clients. Why are we in business? To provide a lifestyle. Like, where does that really deep go to? And then the second thing is, how do you keep that in your foremind every day, right? How do you make sure you remember that why? It's in your mind. It's strong enough, powerful enough that stays with you.
Write it down, read it every day, and it can change, right? Like we change as human beings. I'm on a journey to change myself every single day. So that why might change. Maybe it will be different. Maybe it'll be to stop pushing myself in such a mannerism that's like animal-like,
Yeah.
And my mom called me the other night. She's like, why do you have to do this? It's like, why not? Because I want to. That's why.
Absolutely.
Or not. That's all that matters.
And taking the need to do this out of want to do this, right? Like that's a subtle reframe. Like, why do you work out this hard? Why do you eat this way? Why do you work this hard at your business? Like, I don't need to do it. We want to do it because of what it's going to provide for us and give us. So quick little caveat on goal setting and your why. My buddy, Brett Sikora, shout out to Brett, is having Matthew Ferry on his broadcast tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, all about new goal setting and new finding your why. It just triggered in my head. It's an awesome thing to check out for the team, and anyone watching this wants to go a little deeper on your why. Check out Brett and Matthew tonight. Cool. Awesome. Lindsay, give us number 2.
Commit. So set a goal, commit. If you're thinking about doing something in your personal life, just do it. Like put it on the calendar. And then people always talk to me like, I want to run my first 5K. I want to do this. I want to do that. Well, pay the money, and schedule it. Once you schedule it, it's real. I did that with the race I'm doing. I got in, right? That was the first step to me committing to it. I got in. Commit to the business, commit to your goals, commit to what you want to do, commit to the amount of money you're going to make. We ask people, someone was just here, like, what's the number? What's your freedom number? Commit to that number and do the steps you need to do to get there. So until you commit, it's just an idea.
Yep.
Until it's actually on your schedule, and they say, right, paying money makes you more serious about the commitment. So commit, put it on your calendar. What's the date? What's the goal? What are you doing? Is it clearly defined? Have you committed for yourself, for your team, for your organization, for your family? Have you made the commitment to whatever the goal is?
That's awesome. I love the point of paying money to commit. It could seem at the surface like wasteful, like doing something, like just throwing money at like something and making something. You can't commit yourself. You have to pay money for it, but all these different things. But I'll told the story the other day, 9 years ago almost, my wife and I are at a Tom Ferry summit, and we weren't coaching clients, and we knew coaching was important to us, and we just never had a coach. It seemed like a lot of money, $500 a month. Like I was thinking about it. And my wife just walks up to the table, swipes her credit card for a full year, and is like, well, now we better do something. Because I just spent $6,000 on coaching. And this was, very early on in our business where we didn't have the revenue and the income to easily pay. The $6,000 still a lot of money, right? But then it was like a big piece of our annual income. And that commitment, we showed up every week with the coach told us to do, we implemented, and we've never been uncoached since, right? It's a super important thing. So committing with the financial commitment to burn the ships and really commit to it is huge. So I love that piece of it. That's awesome.
Totally. Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
We got 3.
So going back to being coachable, train. It is like I said, it's going to be me 7 hours in the woods doing lots of crazy things. And that takes training, right? Like I know I can't just get off my couch and do a triathlon. I know I can't just wake up and decide I want to get a real estate license and sell 100 houses. And, our goal as a team is to hit 100 million this year. We'll probably do about 265 transactions. How do you do that? You have to train. I think people have this idea they're going to get into the real estate business and they're going to just be an overnight millionaire and sell lots of houses and drive Rolls Royces and be a baller. And it's not the case. If you're not putting the time in, no matter what it is, like real estate, anything, right? You're not going to succeed. It just is the way it is. You have to train. Me and you, we train every day. Yep. Like we're on the mastermind calls. We're doing the podcast. We're learning from people who are much better than us. And you have to be willing to train your mind and your body to grow. Like it's all about growing. Like I'm nobody, right? Like I don't know shit, especially when I put myself in rooms like we were in Dallas and other rooms. Like you realize how small you are. So train every day. I mean, and I do that. Like I do that with sports. I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I run, I bike, I swim, because that's the time that I have in my schedule, because I feel like at night I'm taking away time from my kids and my family. So it's really, it's the training. It's the schedule. Like, what does my day look like? Where can I fit things? Where can I fit the training in? It's training our agents. It's Tuesday meetings. It's Monday masterminds. It's 100 accountability groups. It's holding them to it. Like, are they doing the steps they need to do to achieve their goal? What is your goal? Well, guess what? You're not showing up. So how are you going to hit that goal?
Yep, absolutely.
And being fierce, like ruthless about it. Like
real training.
You have to, yeah.
You couldn't back to your point, a lot of people think I could show up in real estate and it's just gonna happen, right? I'm just gonna go on appointments and knock them out and they're gonna be great. Can you imagine showing up to a triathlon like that? I signed up. I'm here today. Oh, we're supposed to be training for this. We're supposed to be practicing every day. Like one of our mutual mentors, 𝐒𝐬𝐞𝐬𝐬, and Dan Beer, always say, real estate's one of the only industries in the world people just show up for the games, they don't practice. Can you imagine a football player, a triathlete, any other corporate salesperson or any kind of business person just showing up for a meeting or something with just a couple quick ideas of what to say and not role playing and practicing and training and making themselves into the person they need to be before showing up there, right? So I think training is a big thing that gets missed a lot in our industry. Training like this easy, like watch a module or do something is one thing, but like repetitive, fierce training to really be ready for those moments.
You have to be so committed. like with anything. I mean, I just think it goes back to this idea that anybody can get a real estate license and make money. And Kyle always says, this is the only industry you can make NFL money. Yep. But are you putting in NFL effort? Are you role playing? Are you showing up? Are you practicing scripts, doing the listing presentation? You know, how much training are you doing for the game? You know, you don't want to show up to listing presentations or buyer consultations and blow it. So it is, I think people don't realize how important that is in real estate to do that. Like, I think it's sort of like cheesy, you know, and a lot of what we do is very cliche, right? And simple, but it is what will separate you from your competition always, is just training and being so fiercely committed to the outcome.
Yep. And like you said, it's simple, but not easy, right? Like those are two separate things. Very simple things we have to do, but not easy things to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I love point 3. Very good. Let's go point 4.
Patience. 1 mile at a time, 1 bike ride at a time, 1 day at a time. I mean, we built this business, you know, I was pregnant when I got licensed, and every day I was here every single day doing the little things I had to do. And I know, like, everything takes time. And I think we're not like aware of that with ourselves, and we're not kind enough to ourselves to understand that anything worth it really truly does. It takes time, and we have to be patient. We have to be patient with our team. We have to be patient with our agents. We have to be patient with ourselves, and just be patient, right? We're 11-year overnight success.
Exactly. Without that, I have to imagine that in training for triathlons is probably similar to real estate, where you need to be really patient up front. Like, it's like that old cliche of it takes so much energy and hard work to get a plane off the ground, and then once it's in the air, it uses like 5% of the energy that it took for takeoff.
Yeah.
Like, up front, there's a lot of patience without a lot of results coming. Like, I can imagine if I started training for a triathlon, I struggle to get like 3 miles without stopping for a break, right? So like, I'm not a runner by any means. Like, it's gonna take me a lot of work to probably get to 4 or 5 miles. And then maybe after that, it starts to, because your body's in the right shape and your muscles and your joints are starting to kind of adjust properly, and to kind of go further than that initial big move gets easier. Like in real estate, that first year is a grind. Like, you are working your butt off for 5 or 10 transactions. And then next year, all of a sudden, 5 or 10 transactions shows up automatically, and you're working your butt off for 20, and on, and it compounds and it grows. A lot of similarities, I think, between, you know, physical training and that kind of momentum in business.
And I always say that, like, with business, and I say it because I'm an athlete, but it's true. Like, I'm a marathon runner in a world of sprinters. Like, I will be more patient than anybody because I know that it takes time, and you're going to quit before me because you want gratification today. And it just, I mean, where we are today is not anywhere near where we want to go. Right. So, like, you know, the finish line was going to be one of my 5 things, but there is no finish line, right? We're going to hit this goal, and then we're going to figure out like what's bigger, better, harder, more badass to do. And our goal is going to double. Like, our production goal will double. Our agent count will double. And, you know, that it's just constantly moving what that finish line is. Yeah. But with anything, it's just like, are you patient enough to wait for it? Especially in real estate, you know, like, I tell agents, like, it's going to be 6 months before you sell your first house. And it's unfair for these people because they're stepping into the best real estate market ever. And they have no idea like how much patience it actually takes in a market that's not so good.
Absolutely. And that's why we, like, back to where we started from, like, having fun, and you guys looking like you and your team have so much fun every day. And that's one very high value of ours, because if you're not having fun, like, this business can eat you alive. It can stress you out. It can frustrate you. It can put you up in the valley of despair and up on top of a mountaintop within 15 minutes, right? So if you're not having fun and enjoying it, working with good people and working in a manner that really fulfills you, forget it. Like, you're going to be dead in the water before you even get started. So I think that's a huge piece. I love that patience is very, very important. What Gary Vee talks about, micro urgency and macro patience. like
Mhm.
urgent in the moment in your work and the things you can control, but patience in the macro and the bigger picture and the results coming. And I think it's a hard thing to kind of get your mind around for at first, but once you understand that, it's super important in success in both physical and mental components and worlds.
And it takes time to build. It takes time to build a single agent like reputation in business. It takes time to build a team, much longer. And the effort and the energy. And agents complain. It's like, dude, I've worked every weekend, every day for 10 years, like 10 years. And it's sacrificing things. Like I've sacrificed things. Like my kids have, not that they've suffered, they understand and appreciate the patience, because they also know, like, you need to be patient. Mom and dad need to show a house today,
Yep.
and it's changed. Like we've gotten time back because we've put the time in over the last 11 years. So, we're getting time back that we've worked really hard for, but we had to be patient for that time.
It's almost like we're talking to our kids right now. I feel like Bradley, patience.
It's really like that simple. I think life is really that simple.
Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. All right. First floor of fire. Bring us home with number 5.
People, right? Kitchens always tells us it's who, not how.
Yes.
And surrounding yourself with the right people, the people that are going to motivate you and inspire you and push you to be better. Like I am all about the people. And, our team, I feel like is the best it's ever been. We have the best core team, like admin team. Our agents are rock stars. Like everybody's really just like in such a good place. Awesome. And it's people. Like every problem you have is people, whether it's recruiting, it's always recruiting, right? Mm-hmm. We learned that. Like you can fix any problem in real estate by recruiting new talent or recruiting a transaction coordinator or an ISA or a videographer, which we just hired. Nice. And it's for me, like putting myself around athletes and people and friends that are going to push me to get there at 5:30 tomorrow morning and show up and do trainings and talk and laugh and then tying it all back together. So much of what I do in my personal life has transferred into my business life. I have an endurance community of clients because I've sort of identified myself as this triathlete real estate agent. And we're in a market that is very close to New York City, and it's very mountainous town where people come and buy second homes, and a lot of them just happen to be endurance athletes. So through my networking of people and training with those people, I've really grown a lot in that area of my business as well. So it's transferred over into my real estate business.
True, right? You're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with most, and that goes for business and for physical fitness and lifestyle and energy and things like that. Like I know when I've in my past spent time with people who were always tired and not healthy and like just dragging. All of a sudden I wake up and I'm like, whoa, how did I get like this? Boom, reframe, get around better people, get around not better, but people with different priorities. And all of a sudden, just without trying, you become a different person. Just
you
by
have
who you're with, right?
You have to. And we just did in our Tuesday training today, the stop-start exercise. It's stop these things right now today. And they're people, places, and things. And people's like is the number one, right? Like get away from the people who make excuses that are negative, that always, don't show up, don't do what they need to do. They will bring you down. They'll destroy you. So why do I put myself around these people? Because I want to be better. Why do I put myself around people like you? Because you're going to teach me something I don't know. And, I'm like, I always say I'm a lifelong learner. Like I'm just here to learn and be better and give back and teach the agents the little things. I mean, I don't expect them all to be crazy like me and as passionate as me, but if I can help inspire them a little bit, then I feel better.
That's awesome. If okay, I'm going to add a 6th because I thought you were definitely going to give this one to us because you told me this like on a coaching call or something we were on together, and it's just show up. Just show the F up.
it is like it's one of our core values, and it's like committing to me is showing up, and that I'm like, dude, like, right? It's just showing up.
If you don't want to, if you're tired, if you don't know what to do, if you're confused, if you don't have the right direction, if you, whatever, just show up, get to the computer, get to the bike, get to the office, get to where the place is, and things will start happening, right?
And there's a lot
show up.
Yeah, there's times I do that, you know, like I just show up. I'm like, what are we doing today? Okay, well, first we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. Okay, cool. Like I'm down. And that's how I built our real estate business. I showed up every single day. I had a daughter, I had an emergency C-section, horrible second delivery, and everybody was like, you'll never be able to get back in the office. Well, she was 5 days old and I was back in the office, and I showed up every single day, and nobody called and nobody came and nobody bought houses.
Yep.
No, they did, you know, so.
Crazy. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Look, this has been awesome. Can you tell everyone just a little bit just where to find you, what they can reach out to you for? I mean, the Hudson Valley, if you want to be in real estate up there, if you want to buy a house up there, sell a house up there, just tell them where to reach you and what you guys are there for.
So you can find me on any social media. It's Lindsay 𝐒𝐿𝐼𝐳 Stevens on Instagram, Lindsay Stevens on Facebook. Our team is Stevens Real Estate. We are looking to expand our team. We're always looking for rockstar agents, obviously business always. And I love offering myself as an accountability buddy. So I tell anybody, like, if you need accountability, if you want somebody to hold you accountable, call me, reach out to me anytime. There's agents I don't even know that have reached out like, hey, I need you to just make me accountable. Okay, what do you want to do? So certainly for anything like that, and if you want to do a triathlete or anything crazy, triathlon or anything crazy, certainly can reach out to me for that too.
That's awesome. And fall is here and coming, so the foliage and the atmosphere up by you guys is amazing. So I hope that we can get the kids together with you and Bruce soon and get up there and hang out. Enjoy some of that. I'll see you tonight, actually, because Lindsay practices what she preaches. We have an 8 o'clock group coaching call tonight that we'll be on together. Yeah, put the kids down, maybe have one still up running around. But we're dedicated to growing, and that's why I think you, Bruce, myself, and Red we're attracted to start collaborating on stuff because we're the same type of people. So we're super excited to see you tonight, and thank you so much for joining us, guys. Any questions? Reach out to Lindsay. Reach out to us. Have a great day.
You rock.